Hey there, Trailblazers, I hope you guys are all doing well. So today in this video, I am going to explain to you guys all that there is to know about the upcoming version 3.0 character AGLAEA, including her full kit, Lightcone, and also Eidolons. But before we begin, let me ask you a question. So, do you want to pull for cool new characters like Sunday and Fugue, but you find in-game prices too expensive? Well, fear not. Lootbard GG is the best top-up platform for all your gacha spending needs and provides a huge 20% discount compared to the in-game prices. Lootbar supports many big games, which includes Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, and even Zenless Zone Zero. Let's try to buy the 3281 Shard pack for $40.48, which costs about $50 in-game for comparison. All I have to do is enter my server and UID, and my purchase will be sent to my in-game account. After just waiting under a minute, I received my Shard pack top-up. Lootbar also has tons of positive reviews and cooperates directly with official Hoyoverse routing partners, making it very safe and secure. Just click on my link in the description or in the pinned comment to get an additional 8% discount today. Putting the sponsor aside, let's now begin with the actual video without wasting any more of your time. Starting with basic character info around AGLAEA. AGLAEA is a limited 5-star lightning element character that follows the newly introduced Remembrance path in version 3.0. She has a base HP of 1241, base attack of 698, base defense of 485, and base speed of 102. Moving over to the actual details of her kit. Let's first start with her basic attack called Thorn Nectu, which deals lightning damage equal to 130% of AGLAEA's attack to one designated enemy. This attack is pretty much useless, and you'll pretty much never be seen using it unless your team is completely out of skill points. Moving over to AGLAEA's skill, which is called Rise, Exalted Renown. Using this skill restores HP to AGLAEA's memo sprite called Garment Maker by 62% of its max HP, and if Garment Maker is absent, summons the memo sprite Garment Maker, and this unit immediately takes action. This skill lets AGLAEA summon her memo sprite Garment Maker onto the field, which can then immediately take a turn. And if you use it when the memo sprite is already summoned, it instead restores Garment Maker's HP. As for what the Garment Maker does, this is explained through AGLAEA's talent called Rosy Fingered, which states that the memo sprite Garment Maker has an initial speed of 40 and a max HP of 77% of AGLAEA's max HP plus 990. And while Garment Maker is on the field, AGLAEA's attacks inflict the target with an effect called Seam Sitch State. Seam Sitch only takes effect on the most recently inflicted target. In addition to this, the memo sprite Garment Maker also has 4 types of special abilities. The first ability is called Thorn Snore, where Garment Maker deals blast lightning damage equal to 154% of its attack to the main target and damage equal to 92% of its attack to any adjacent enemies. The second ability is called A Body Brewed by Tears, where after an enemy affected with the Seam Sitch State afflicted with AGLAEA's talent is attacked, it increases the memo sprite's speed by 69, which stacks up to 6 times. 69 points of speed stacking 6 times per attack is pretty insane. Basically, if you have all 6 stacks, the memo sprite can easily go over the 400 speed threshold, which is comparable to the speed of some bosses. This means Garment Maker will be able to take multiple actions per cycle, not only doing some pretty decent damage by itself, but it also helps in charging AGLAEA's very high-cost ultimate. The third ability is called the Speeding Summer, where when Garment Maker is summoned, it immediately advances its action by 100%, which pretty much lets it immediately take a turn right after being summoned. And lastly, the fourth and final ability is called Bloom of Drying Grass. This ability is pretty simple, as it just regenerates 20 points of energy for AGLAEA after Garment Maker disappears. Moving over to AGLAEA's ultimate, which is called Dance Destined Weaveress. This has energy cost of 350. Similar to the skill, it summons the memo sprite onto the field, and if already present, it instead restores its HP. After activating the ultimate, AGLAEA enters the Supreme Stance state and immediately takes action. Furthermore, when AGLAEA is in this state, She gains speed from Garment Maker's second ability, with each stack increasing her speed by 17.5%. AGLAEA's basic attack is then changed to the enhanced basic attack called Slash by Thousandfold Kiss. She also cannot use her skill in this state, and is immune to all crowd control debuffs. A countdown then appears in the action order, which is set to a speed of 100. When the countdown takes a turn, Garment Maker self-destructs and AGLAEA's supreme stance state is dispelled. This works pretty similar to Firefly's ultimate, where you enter a special state with self-buffs and enhanced abilities, with the duration being based on an action order-based countdown instead of character turns. The self-speed buff granted by the ultimate is also pretty insane, easily giving over 105% speed to AGLAEA at max 6 stacks granted by the Memo Sprite's second ability. As for the enhanced basic attack, using it makes AGLAEA and Garment Maker launch a joint attack on the target, and then deals lightning damage to the target equal to 140% of both AGLAEA and Garment Maker's attack, and also respectively deals lightning damage equal to 56% of both units' attack to any adjacent enemies. This enhanced basic attack is pretty unique in that it scales off both AGLAEA's and her Memo Sprite's attack, instead of only scaling off AGLAEA. So you will be doing a total of 280% attack multiplier to the main enemy target, and 112% attack multiplier to the adjacent enemies. Next up is AGLAEA's technique called Stellar Ripper. Using it summons Garment Maker and launches a forward joint attack. After entering battle, the technique deals lightning damage equal to 100% of AGLAEA's attack to all enemies and randomly inflicts the Seam Sitch state. This technique just deals damage to all enemies and randomly inflicts one random enemy with a Seam Sitch state from AGLAEA's talent. Now, let's go over AGLAEA's traces. Trace 1. This trace increases the attack of AGLAEA and Garment Maker by an amount equal to 720% of AGLAEA's speed plus 360% of Garment Maker's speed while in the supreme stance state. Trace 2. This trace makes you retain one stack of the speed boost from Garment Maker's second ability after it disappears. And once it is resummoned, you gain the corresponding speed stacks. Trace 3. This increases Garment Maker's damage dealt by 30% for 5 turns after either entering combat or using a skill. Furthermore, Garment Maker will retain this damage buff even while AGLAEA is in the supreme stance state. So that's pretty much all of AGLAEA's base kit. Next up, let's go over her signature Lightcone called Time Woven into Gold. Effect: equipping it increases the wearer's base speed by 12 points. Additionally, after the wearer and the wearer's Memo Sprite attacks, they receive one stack of an effect called Brocade. Each stack of Brocade increases the wearer's crit damage by 15%, stacking up to 3 times. When reaching the maximum stacks, each Brocade stack will additionally increase the damage dealt by basic attacks by 15%. For now, this Lightcone only really works with AGLAEA since there are currently only 2 Remembrance units in the game, with the other being more of a support than a damage dealer. But if there is another Remembrance basic attack-related damage dealer in the future with an attacking summon, they'll be able to take full advantage of this Lightcone as well, assuming it goes unchanged. Finally, let's go over AGLAEA's Eidolons. E1. When AGLAEA or Garment Maker takes consecutive actions, the damage dealt ignores 25% of the target's defense. This effect stacks up to 2 times and lasts until any unit other than AGLAEA or Garment Maker actively uses an ability. E2. The speed boost effect from the Memo Sprite talent has its max stack limit increased by 1. After AGLAEA uses an attack, Garment Maker can also gain the speed boost effect from the Memo Sprite talent. E4. An enemy afflicted with Seam Stitch takes 8% increased damage. After AGLAEA's or Garment Maker's attack hits this target, additionally regenerates 20 energy. And finally, E6. While AGLAEA is in the supreme stance state, she and Garment Maker have their lightning resistance penetration increased by 20%. Furthermore, when AGLAEA or Garment Maker gains an action advance effect, the multiplier of the damage dealt by the next use of AGLAEA's enhanced basic attack additionally increases by an amount equal to 0.4% of their respective speed. So that's basically all the information we have about AGLAEA's full kit. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel to keep yourself up to date with all the latest HSR news and information. That's it for now, so I'll see you in the next video.